Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aboudoubaki Boukari. I'm Awesome Africa TV host and producer. The show that gives Africa rising stars, both on the continent and its diaspora, the opportunity to share their stories, their challenges and successes, as well as their goals for the future. Today, we are pleased to welcome Madame Catherine Warren, aka Kedi Rose, who is a host and a producer of a talk show called The Next Chapter, where she discusses shades of grey with her guests. During our talk show, Madame Catherine will be sharing with us her background, her professional experience, and we will talk about her trip to Ghana, especially in northern Ghana, Tamale, to assist the 2025 Cultural Oneness Festival with the Harlem Tourism Organization. Finally, we will conclude with her marketing workshop and how to use social media effectively as a business owner or an artist. To start off, Madame Catherine, that's the second time I have you in my show. Can you please introduce yourself to our viewer? Tell me more about
Are you telling me your viewers don't remember me?
No, the thing is, I have new subscribers, and that's why.
I've been here before.
Yeah, I know.
But no, I'm just kidding. Thank you. I am Minister Cat, or Minister, you use my whole government name, Catherine or Kitty Rose.
Yeah.
But yes, I am a television producer where I produce a show called The Next Chapter. And in the next chapter are all these different experiences that I'm experiencing, as well as the last 3 years going back and forth to the continent, or to the home continent. We can't make it so general.
You call motherland, right?
Yes.
Okay, what inspired you to create a show called Next Chapter?
My life. You know, everything I do is a reflection of what I'm going through. And as I was making the transition from being a full-time parent to an empty nester, and then not only an empty nester, but what comes with that, menopause, life, dating, you know, me making the transition even spiritually as a minister, I knew that not only am I going through these next chapters, but so is everyone else, because life is a continuum of chapters. So I wanted to create a show that would talk about these next chapters, and that's why I say when we discuss shades of gray, because not everything is black and white,
That's
you
true,
know?
That's true. I strongly agree with you. So as I mentioned in my introduction, last December, you traveled to Ghana, Tamale, which is the northern part of Ghana. That's not the first time you went to Ghana, right?
No, that was.
That was the first time?
Yes, because I went to Senegal and Kenya, but this was my first time to Ghana.
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought it's the second time. Or to assist to the Cultural Oneness Festival, right? Which brought together traditional leaders, youth, creatives and diaspora voices from across Africa and the United States. Can you please talk a little bit about this trip?
Oh, I don't know if I can talk a little bit. So I'll do my best, because it was an amazing 7 days. As you mentioned, it was the cultural oneness. And the goal of the cultural oneness is to make one Africa. You know, we have 54 countries in Africa, and just like here in America, we have all been brainwashed. So what divides us is, even though we might culturally do things differently when it comes to like tribes and areas, the oneness, how we believe, how we relate, how we feel about each other, the Most High, whether that's Jehovah God or Allah, we all, you know, came to a oneness, and we were separated by that. So they want to create, they want to stop the separation and bring us all together, so that we can remember that we are not divided, you know, that we are one, and then bringing the Americans, or bringing the Black Americans from the diaspora, diaspora back into the continent or back home to the continent, or at least understanding that they're not also disconnected. You know, so it was a beautiful together. But they know that in order to make any type of change, we have to bring in the political powers. So that was the Cultural Oneness Festival. They wanted to bring the different chiefs, the different kings from Kenya, from Botswana, from all over, so that the people could also see the people in leadership come together, and then hopefully the government will begin to fund these types of events. And how the Harlem Tourism Board came into play is because the Harlem Tourism Board started a festival called Harlem Week. They started that 51 years ago. So they are using that as like the blueprint for the festival in Tamale.
That's very, very good. That's very good. We're going to talk about what's happening over there. And I have some videos and pictures.
Okay.
You know, so our TD is going to show the first one.
Great.
And
and these were some young brothers, young brothers, 19 to 23, that took this, no, to 24, that covered this event with us.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So we're going to watch the first video, and then when you come back, you comment.
We are here for the 2025 edition of the Cultural Oneness Festival. This is the third edition. Like we always do, we're trying to exhibit the cultural commonality of us as Ghanaian people, but most importantly, the Northern Ghana side of Ghana, to propagate unity and peace, which will help us develop culturally, economically, socially, and spiritually.
Knowing that the APA is a Ghana Coordinating Council, all length support whatever you be bringing that will support the government of the APA is region. Thank you so much.
Our screams are collected into bottles of snacks to belly full our cheese into psychological distortion. During their drunken stopper, stories were told that even the toothless child knew the light of civilization. John from Africa. At a time the world was rich in darkness. Onto all pages of history.
Well, today is the day I've been waiting for. It's also the day I'm sure you've been waiting for. One Africa, one people. That is what we have come to observe here.
Cultural Oneness Festival is basically to really reenact and redefine us as an African people. Someone controls your culture, controls your world. Culture is life, and life is culture. Together here with a shared purpose, we connect the diaspora with our ancestral homeland. Too long, geographical borders have hindered our connection.
Your mindset is your power. Person control your mind, they don't control you.
Your minds have to be creative. You have to get ready for what's here now. It's not coming. Now it's here now.
By blending tradition with technology, young people can become the guardians of our past and creators of our future. Let's keep our culture alive.
We started this 3 years ago. Some of the young people that were modeling for us have been inspired and motivated to be fashion designers themselves today.
Wow. How
Chale.
do you like Chale in Ghana, yeah, they like that word. Okay, so I want your comment because you was there. You have this video, it's not the entire video.
Right.
So just tell me a little bit more about it.
Well, again, it was a beautiful experience because it was different from me. I've never been amongst chiefs and kings of different villages. So to experience that with the Harlem Tourism Board for the second time of them taking me on a trip to document the experience. You know, when we went to Senegal, it was very like fancy, you know? But you could also see the difference in the streets and the education. But in Ghana, you know, to visit palaces, but to still see in their village, it be not balanced. You know what I'm saying? Was weird.
That's why I was so happy that you went in the northern part of Ghana. It's the same thing in our countries. So the northern parts are not developed like the south.
Right.
You see, in the capital, that's where you see the good road, like here in the Bronx.
Right.
So over there, they don't have...
but even though it's not yet, or it's not as developed, the problem isn't really in the development, it's the mindset. Because if the people were almost okay with the circumstances or environment in 2025 and 2026, when the chief of this village lives in a palace and they have plumbing, you know what I'm saying? And one of the last chiefs we went to, his palace was amazing, and he had every animal, literally ducks and rabbits, like he literally had every goat. And
you see people around are poor. They live in
so
modest houses.
So it was nice to see a different way of living, but it was sad at the same time. But that was the point also, I think, because it was the point for us as service people. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't just Black Americans. It was, you know, even the young people. The young people that covered that, they're from Accra. So even for them to be in northern Ghana, they were under 25 years old. Even though they were documenting, that was still something different for them to see. So it was all about shifting the mindset to want more for yourselves.
That's true.
And for not only us to want more and bring more, but now there's opportunity because now there's opportunity for us to develop this land because now they're kind of giving it away, but they're also making Americans chiefs so that they can come back home and feel connected to want to bring the development to the
we have a lot to talk about this event, but the thing is right now we're going to take a PSA. When we come back, we'll continue.
Awesome.
So sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad. Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
We are back. I was here with Madame Catherine Warren, who was talking about the 2025 cultural oneness, right?
Which was their third year.
Third year, right? That's the third edition.
Yes.
Okay, so one of the 2025 Cultural Oneness Festival organizer mentioned from heritage tours and loyal doorbells to youth forum, cultural reenactments, right? And creative showcases, culture came alive as a tool for education, unity, and development. So do you agree with him?
I do, because they use the arts to help bring the messaging of oneness. And they use the children, they use the youth in northern Ghana from the volunteers to the performances that they did, the reenactments. We weren't able to do as much as the festival tour does for people that come on this tour because we spent so much time with the chiefs and the kings. However, the parts that we did see, like at the festival, there was a young poet who, you know, who spoke with such passion, but spoke about the uniting of us and what broke us apart and what we must do. And then at the crocodile camp, oh my goodness, Baki, at the crocodile camp, there were children from as young, I want to say, let's say 7, 6, up until like, you know, 18, 19. So these are all children in the arts. And they performed with such passion. It made me almost sad to think about when we watch the movies and people have to play slaves. Like how? But now these are kids playing slaves. And they didn't play just the slaves. They played the colonizers. I mean, it was brilliant. So to merge the two together, to not only educate the visitors, but in educating themselves, you know, it strengthened the mission. You know, it strengthened the purpose because everybody was unified in what we were, again, changing the mindset.
That's true. That's the second time you pronounced that one. We really need them to change the mindset, right? Okay, so we have a second video that you're going to show, and then when you come back, you'll comment.
From making earrings, to retail, to designing t-shirts, to producing events, to even becoming a filmmaker, to now producing television. Every version of me, a pivot. Because as women, we evolve. Every 7 years, we change, we grow, we see things differently. And when COVID slowed the world down, guess what? I had to slow down too. And when I slowed down, I listened. I heard my children in ways I hadn't before. I saw myself in ways I hadn't also before. And I realized that the work of breaking generational cycles was not done. Because we only know what we are taught from our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunties. We inherit patterns, whether they are healthy or not. And when no one tells the truth about these patterns, we repeat them. That's why I stand in my position as a breeder of...
That's you.
Yes, in Ghana.
In Ghana. And then you love doing this in the United States, and now you brought it in Ghana. So how do you feel? It's like giving back to your motherland, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That was incredible. But again, based on my trip in Ghana, you know, building relationships. Don't just make the one and done, like just go and then you leave, you know. I wanted to nurture. I wanted to be able to, you know, be a part of something. So now that I'm following them online and they're following me online, one of the families that moved from the States to Northern Ghana, one of the sister's name is Queen Mother Sabrina. And so her and I, after the trip, we just started bonding. And she wants to work with young women, and I want to work with young women. So there was a festival, the Empower Her Festival, and it was their 3rd annual summit. And my goal was to go back to Ghana in March, but finances didn't allow it. So they invited me, but they was like, okay, we'll just give your speech and we'll just play it. And I was like, okay. And then they were like, well, we're going to do it virtually. And it was like, okay, you know. And it was just an amazing, because it was like, you can't be here in person, but we still we still see value in what you're saying. And we would like you still to present. So not only was I able to present, but now, because of that presentation, I'm mentoring 25 girls in Northern Ghana right now that are showing up literally every Monday online. They have not stopped. They have not dwindled down to 22 or 18. 25 women are showing up every Monday.
With technology, we can do anything we want worldwide. That's very good.
So
and thank you for your service to all those.
You know, they say that the rent you pay is the service. You know, we are obligated to, as vessels here serving God, you know what I'm saying, to pay it forward. And selfishly, for me to have the kind of life I want, you have to give back. You know what I'm saying? So me giving back is really to benefit myself.
No, I'm taking you because a lot of people now, when they live in the United States or in Europe or something like that, when they go to Africa, they go to Africa to tourism, just go to the nice places, go stay
and don't get me wrong, I like the nice places in Africa too.
Stay in the hotel, and that's it. Then they come back. Well, you go there, you teach young people, you empower them, and you mentor them now. So
because every relationship I've been in, Senegal, I made a relationship with Sonny Moore, so that has sustained. In Kenya, I made a relationship with an orphanage that I started working with. That has been sustained. And now coming to Ghana, the relationship I'm making in Northern Tamale, which is still Accra, I'm building a relationship there. It's like, don't just go and, like you said, just tour, go and be a part of what's happening. So I love it.
And after Ghana, it's going to be in Togo because you know that Ghana and Togo, we share the same border. So I'm going to bring it.
Let's make it happen.
We're going to plan it for that. So
I'm an empty nester, so I can fly.
Okay, we also have so many pictures that we're going to show.
Let me see what pictures you chose.
You can comment there.
My girls, the girls that I'm mentoring. And these young women start from 16 to 24. So they're seniors in high school and seniors in college. But all of these young women were volunteers at the Empower Her summit, but they were also volunteers at the Cultural Oneness. So that was beautiful.
The second picture.
Me with the young women that I traveled with, who was also a volunteer for the Oneness Cultural, and then the two other young women, they are from Accra, and they went and worked on the festival the second year, so they came back to do it the third year.
That's good. Next.
Those were the kids I was telling you about at the crocodile camp. Look at the age range. And like I said, the power in their acting was incredible. I'm telling you, it was masterpiece.
That's good. Next.
At the cemetery.
This one, because I saw the feeling you touching the ground, and I said, what happened here?
That was the last burial place before they were, those that died in the camps and didn't make it onto the ships, didn't make it. Those were the last burial grounds in northern Ghana before making the trip over.
Got it.
Our revival, they really took the time to invite the press and to involve the press in what was happening. Again, to cultural oneness. So that was when we arrived in Tamale. And it's funny because you think that, you know, you could just go to Ghana and that's it. You have to go to Accra and then take a plane to Tamale.
Okay, next.
Me and my chiefs from Kenya. And you know what I love about this? I'm so glad I didn't wear that dress. What I love about this is that they were royalty, but they were still so humble. We had dinner with them. They were my uncles by the time the week was over. They were no longer chief this, that. They were uncle, what's good? And my young, I'm so glad you showed it. That was the young team that did the Cultural Oneness video. They were the videography team that I was with, because I was there as a journalist. So that was it. I worked a lot with them, you know, and again, all of them are under the age of 25.
That's good. That's good. Next one.
Some of the volunteers at the festival. And you see all young people, you know, but I will say one thing. They were upset that they didn't get real recognition at the festival. And I think that that is something we need to do. We need to stop taking advantage when they do, because young people don't volunteer often. So to volunteer in the heat for no money, just to be a part of something and then not to get acknowledgement was very disheartening to them. So I want to make sure that we shout them out and thank them for the time and service.
No problem. Next one.
That was us at the school, at the college.
So with the pictures, we're going to stop for now because our time
So
is
that's the
running.
Harlem Tourism Board, as well as the chiefs from Kenya at the college that we went to, because that was also part of the festival, talking to the kids.
So, recently, you started a workshop on marketing and how to use social media effectively as a business owner or an artist. So what inspired you to create this workshop?
Because I'm a marketing major. I studied that in school. So I'm well aware of how marketing works and how marketing is effective to the growth of one's success in their business. And now that social media is a tool that people use, sometimes they don't understand how to use it. And then because they don't understand, they don't want to use it. You know, they're like, oh, I don't need it, or I don't want it, or it's too much, or it's too crazy. But why? It doesn't have to be. So I wanted to be able to show people how to use it effectively because it's worked for me. I've been in business this year, 20 years.
Wow.
And social media, let's say, is the last 10 years, you know, and in the last 10 years, definitely the last 5 years, where we've had to pivot since COVID. If it wasn't for social media, my business would not have lasted.
Yeah, so you posted on social media on your Facebook page that marketing isn't just a flyer, logo, or going viral, right? So it's communication with purpose. So can you elaborate?
Just like you said, it's visibility with a purpose. You know, I mean, social media is social. So of course you can be on there to be social, but if you're a business or you're an artist, then you want to use it to tailor that. You don't want to have a business page and it's private. You know what I'm saying? Because that allows an audience to connect with you on a different level. Yes, use it socially, but even use it socially when it comes to your business to show the highlights of what it is that you do.
Okay, so we only have 1 minute. So what's your opinion on why the African community focuses on organized more cultural events than economic,
in a minute,
educational, or political events? So we can go.
I think it's changing. I think it's changing.
Mm-hmm.
What the Harlem Tourism Board is doing is not only educating, but bringing tourism with fun. So it's not just the development, or it's not just the fun, but it's also the development. It's also the commitment back to home. So I think it's changing. Not I think, it is changing.
Okay, so your last word, because my time just finished.
My last word is chale. And, you know, explore, and don't be afraid. And yes, Africa has beaches as well as other activities that you can do. Don't be afraid. It is not what you think. It is beautiful, and they are welcoming us with open arms.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, we have reached the conclusion of today's show. We'd like to thank our guests for stopping by, and of course, you, our viewer, for tuning in. I'll see you next time. We will do the second part, inshallah.
My name is Gary Parker. I served as a cavalry scout and a military policeman in the United States Army for 20 years. When I was a cavalry scout, we had a young lieutenant that came in. Great guy, but he moved on, got promoted to lieutenant colonel, went on to Afghanistan, and I was able to keep in contact. And I'd wake up one morning, go on social media, and there's that post you don't want to see. For whatever reason, he took his own life. Nobody knows why he did it. And if there's something that we could have done to prevent it from happening, safe gun storage can prevent gun suicide, because it's that added step to get to your firearm that might just give somebody a moment of reflection on what they're doing. As a veteran, we need to be ambassadors to people that don't have the knowledge that we have. Anytime you're not storing a weapon safely, you're putting yourself and your community at risk. Service never stops.